Imagine standing in the gilded palace corridors of Constantinople. An elderly man walks unsteadily. The hands that once held a commander's scepter now tremble slightly. His name is Belisarius. Not long ago, he was the great general who struck fear into enemies and reclaimed lost lands for the empire. Now, beneath the cold, suspicious gaze of his emperor, he bears false accusations in silence. Tonight, by the soft glow of a flickering fire, let us step into the true story of his life. His journey is a tragic paradox of absolute loyalty and the abyss of power. He reconquered the eternal city of Rome, yet could never keep his sovereign's trust. Men called him the last Roman, for after him, the heroic spirit of the classical age seemed to fade away into the cold winds of history. How many helpless sighs lie hidden in the fate of a hero growing old? The crack in his fate had already formed the moment Belisarius achieved unprecedented feats. It was the Nika riots of 532 AD, when enraged mobs nearly drove Emperor Justinian from his throne. In that darkest hour, it was Belisarius who led his loyal personal guards to save the imperial crown amid the ruins of the Hippodrome. With that battle, he saved the emperor's life and the empire's future. Yet he never knew that extraordinary merit often becomes a double-edged sword. Bearing the emperor's tangled expectations, he sailed across the sea to reconquer North Africa. His army advanced steadily across Vandal lands. Every victory spread his fame wider, yet thickened the heavy atmosphere within Constantinople's court. This mental weight lingered over him constantly. He faced fierce foes on the battlefield, while endlessly wondering if the emperor far away frowned upon his battle reports. His extreme restraint made him refuse the crown offered by enemy kings. Yet this flawless virtue only deepened Justinian's unease. For to a ruler consumed by suspicion, a hero without ambition is far more unfathomable than a greedy warlord. When Belisarius finally stepped through Rome's long-lost gates, the tension of his fate reached its peak. He gazed upon the once heart of the empire, broken and overgrown, yet still majestic. With only a small force, he defended the city against relentless siege. Through those bitter days, he commanded troops by day and comforted starving citizens by night. This endless struggle against time and circumstance smoothed the edge of his youth, leaving him with eyes deepened by sorrow and melancholy. He rejected the Gothic offer to place him upon the throne of a new Western Roman Empire, an honor within effortless reach. Instead, he chose to return to Constantinople, laying his triumph humbly before Justinian's feet. The scene was charged with tension, the general kneeling on the steps, the emperor enthroned high above. Between their gazes lay no celebration of victory, but an oppressive cold silence. Belisarius acted out pure duty, yet Justinian saw only the unshakable prestige the general held among his soldiers. This rift at the core of their bond became an irreparable price the hero would pay for life. He brought back treasure and captives, yet also decades of cold neglect and surveillance that would haunt his remaining years. The years that followed became the most stifling chapter of Belisarius's life. Sent to the eastern frontier to face the mighty Persian Empire, he struggled amid scarce supplies and conflicting imperial orders. Time and again, on the brink of decisive victory, secret edicts from the palace forced him to retreat. The agony of having his hands tied mid-battle was enough to break the spirit of a lifelong soldier. Still he never rebelled, quietly accepting every demotion and recall. He grew quieter, more reserved. Within Constantinople's elite circles, the once invincible war god became a man cast to the shadows. A lonely soul lingering in an age of glory, clinging to the old honor of Rome. His inner isolation deepened amid tangled rumors surrounding his wife Antonina, lending an air of absurdity to his life. He was stripped of wealth, barred from court, even falsely accused of murder. In his darkest days he stood firm like an ancient pine rooted along the empire's border. This resilience amid betrayal earned his title, the last Roman, a sorrowful truth. He was not defeated by enemies, he was undone by the very system he had defended with his blood. The story draws to its sorrowful end. In 559 AD, nomad hordes marched upon Constantinople, throwing the entire city into panic. In this hour of peril, Justinian finally remembered his disgraced, powerless aging general. White-haired and weathered, Belisarius donned his armor one last time. He rallied veteran soldiers and frightened civilians, turning back the invaders with wisdom and the lingering awe of his legacy. It was his final watch upon the battlefield. Yet victory brought no medals, only further persecution and estrangement. Legend claims he was blinded in old age and reduced to begging in the streets, more a work of later romantic fiction than fact. Still, the tale's endurance speaks to the world's profound sympathy for his tragic end. The real Belisarius passed away peacefully in his mansion on an early spring morning in 565 AD. Mere months later, Justinian, who had haunted his entire life, also departed the world. Ruler and general, bound for a lifetime, built Byzantium's golden age together, yet co-wrote the tragedy of a hero forsaken by time. This timeless conclusion carries a bitter logic. The purest loyalty often bears the deepest misunderstanding, and a hero's true resting place is never a pedestal, but the quiet, somber echo of history. Now the sunset fades over Constantinople. The great general who reconquered half an empire remains only lines etched in ancient scrolls. With his life, Belisarius answered the eternal riddle of loyalty and suspicion. He showed how a soul may preserve its purity amid injustice and suppression. His story holds no sudden grand climax, only quiet perseverance through long, lonely years. Tonight, close your eyes and feel the calm of a hero's twilight. You will find that to stand firm in the shadows is greatness enough, regardless of one's fate. Let go of all your worries this quiet night. Picture the golden city, fire burning warm, as the once mighty general sets down his heavy armor to rest, listening to the quiet tale of his own life. Drift peacefully into dream amid the warmth of history. Good night.